It is now my honor to introduce you to our Regional Vice President.
Thank you, Carol. It is indeed an honor to be here today with you and to welcome you to the Remington College, Colorado Springs commencement. As we come together tonight to celebrate the achievement of our graduates, we say thank you for your participation and your support. Commencement is a celebration of a significant milestone, and it has meaning for each of us. For students, it is the achievement of an important goal, the acquisition of new knowledge and new skills, and the acceptance of new commitments and new challenges. For parents, loved ones, and friends, it is the participation in the joy of that achievement and a sense of a new beginning, which this day represents. For the college, it is a time to consider our mission in light of the new challenges and opportunities which lie ahead. We hope our college has been a good place to begin your journey to educate yourself. Only the beginning. Learning is a lifelong process. Thank you for your trust in us, your faith in your ability to succeed, your determination, and your persistence that led you here tonight. Because you didn't do it by yourself, and we rarely do it by ourselves, right? Please stand, and show your love and appreciation to all of your relatives and friends who assisted you along the way. I can tell you, without faculty members, teachers, of which I am one, that is my first and most beloved occupation, I can tell you not many good things, not much gets done where students are concerned. So now show your love and appreciation to all of your wonderful teachers. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Now it's an honor to introduce those joining me tonight on stage. First we have Ms. Carol Hurley. She's our MC tonight and our executive assistant. Ms. Hurley, let's give her a round of applause, please. We have our Director of Education, Ms. Grace Trujillo. Forgive me, Grace. She does a fantastic job, and the last thing I need to do is come down here from Houston and butcher her name. I apologize for that. And last but not least, we have Mr. Doug Prudy. He's a criminal justice master. Now, if I may, let me ask the staff and faculty to stand. That's both past and present faculty and staff. Please stand. I want everybody, all of them, you guys, where's Mike? I can tell you as a Regional Vice President of Operations, I have the honor of working with a lot of wonderful people. I can tell you the people here in Colorado Springs are fantastic. They're hardworking, they're dedicated, and they're student focused. And I consider them valuable co-workers. They have done a tremendous job here. And I can tell you that they make my job very easy as a Regional Vice President of Operations. And I would really like to personally, publicly thank them for the hard work that they have done and for always taking good care of our students here in Colorado Springs. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. President Shirley McCrae sends along her congratulations to the graduates and her thanks to all of you for your participation and support of Remington College and our students. I can tell you that filling in for her tonight is bittersweet. I really have a lot of respect and admiration for Cheryl. She's a very strong person, and we've been working together for, I guess, probably 10 years, maybe a little bit more. We promoted her to campus president back in 2005, and she has done a fantastic job for us out here in Colorado Springs. But I can tell you that my plan was to come and participate, probably sit out there and not be here under these bright lights and trying to talk to all of you good folk. But she had a tragedy in her family, and that's the reason I'm up here tonight. And I can tell you that she wanted desperately to be here. Talked to her a few days ago and pretty much encouraged her to deal with the tragedy that she was struck with about a week ago. And that was the death of her oldest son. So she is off laying to rest her oldest son. And that's why she's not here tonight. I know that she's here in spirit. I know that her heart is here. And I can tell you that the saying goes, you should never have to bury your child. I know some of you, unfortunately, and I hope that no one in the room has ever had to go through that, but I can only imagine what that would be like if I had to lay to rest one of my 3 children. I don't even want to think about it. So you can imagine what she's going through. And this is something that probably even the people who know her best maybe don't know, is that this is the second time for her, not the first. And you can imagine the pain associated with this kind of a tragedy. And what I would like to ask you to do now, if you would please, is to join me in acknowledging Shirley's grief with a moment of silence. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to present Mr. Doug Pruding, who has been with Remington College since 1999. He will also lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So, Mr. Pruding.
Thank you. If you would all stand, the gentlemen with hats on, please remove them. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm sorry, out of sequence because the kids have. Education is all about academics. We at Remington strive to make our programs the best in the city. Our graduates have to compete with graduates from other institutions. The proof of our efforts is in the job. They must be well prepared to be competitive, and our graduates meet that test in all of our programs. You may notice this evening some of our graduates have gold and silver cords adorning their gowns. This signifies an honor graduates. Silver cords designate those students with a GPA of 3.75 to 3.99. And gold cords are reserved for those with a perfect 4.0. That's all A's every time. I would like to recognize those honor graduates, that's both silver cord and gold cord. Would you please stand? At this time, I would like for those with gold cords to remain standing. These graduates achieved a perfect 4.0 during their academic career at Remington. 4.0. You can't do better than that. I want to recognize some of our grads who are first in their family to graduate from college. Will those graduates stand up? Congratulations and thank you. It's now my pleasure to present Ms. Grace Trujillo, who has been with Remington College since 2004.
It's a special privilege for me to be here with you guys tonight. I know that you all have gone through a lot of trial and tribulation. It's a privilege for us as instructors to have done a little bit of our part to help you get to this point. I know that there have been many adversities that you've had to overcome, maybe even thought about quitting, maybe you dropped, but you came back, and here you sit tonight to celebrate this achievement that you've done or you've made. One of the things that you can really celebrate too is that you're in an elite group of people who can call themselves college graduates. I know you worked really hard to get to this point, and I want to say congratulations for that. You persevered, you continued down the road of success, and here you are tonight to celebrate. In the face of that adversity, how many of you were able to achieve perfect attendance at any point with your time at Remington? If you'll stand. We can't see your hands. Congratulations. So anybody who had perfect attendance for the entire time at Remington, please stay standing. Wow. Awesome. You all know I know who you are, so congratulations. Well, again, congratulations. Like I said, I am just honored to have been able to be a little part of your achievement tonight. And now I want to have Miss Carol Hurley come back and do the rest of her part. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my personal honor and distinct pleasure to present our first speaker of the evening. We are privileged to have more than one for this commencement exercise. She is representing the MA program, and her name is Ms. Nancy Lieber-Lazaro. Nancy has played an important role in our medical assisting program since it was first taught at our campus. Her students, as well as those of us who have been fortunate to work with her, know that the medical assistant program was always near and dear to her heart. Ms. Lieber-Lazaro.
Family, honored graduates. This is a bittersweet occasion for many of us at Remington, our final graduation. I've had many jobs in my life, but never have I worked with a nicer group of people. I found the medical assistant program to be very well put together. It isn't often that one looks forward to awakening at 6 a.m. to go to work, but I have so enjoyed teaching at Remington that it wasn't a chore. Almost 16 years ago, I moved here from the Chicago area. And I like it here too, except for the wildfires. We have a much less dense population in the Springs, which means that on occasion, I've had the pleasure of running into a former student of mine while being out and about. This is always exciting to me. I'll hear Miss Nancy call out across Walmart, or at a restaurant, or even in the offices of my own doctors, or some other public venue. I'll turn to find a familiar face attached to a body that is approaching me at warp speed, followed by a big hug, which is followed by a synopsis of what has been going on with that person. And I truly love this. I get to hear of my former students' present successes. Some have been really bitten by the learning bug and have decided to go on with their education and are in nursing school. A few have even reached for the stars and are enrolled in the physician's assistant program. If you thought my classes were tough, that one's a killer. There are a few who hadn't found their niche early on and bounced around in several offices until they found compatibility. Some have shown great initiative and were thrilled to be at the right hand of their physician, assisting in many interesting procedures. And a few have simply said, I love the office where I'm working, and I'm happy there and I wouldn't want to be anyplace else. To know that we've made a difference in someone's life is a huge reward to us as instructors. One thing that has nothing to do with money. I personally have seen individuals come to Remington with poor self-esteem or low self-confidence. Some years after graduating, I've run into them, and they're full of smiles and eager to relate their successes to me, and I'm so very happy for them. So if sometime in the future you should happen to encounter me or any of your former instructors, please don't hesitate. Let that person know what's happening in your life, and together we'll keep the memory of Remington alive, remembering this day, your special day, and rejoicing in your successes. Congratulations. I wish you a future filled with meaningful challenges and successes in your chosen field. Thank you.
Our next speaker has not only taught at Remington, but she's one of our own former graduates in the Farm Tech program. So I'm thinking you can all guess who that is, Ms. Griselda Garcia. Griselda's education and professional experience gave her qualifications to teach at our college. Although teaching in the Farm Tech program was Griselda's part-time job, her dedication to her students and to this school was her full-time commitment. May I introduce Gigi.
Thank you for all for coming. As I was listening to some of the speeches and just in remembering when you said that if you're the first one to graduate your family, it brought me back to, I have 25 cousins that are older than me, and I'm the first one to graduate from my family as well. So I know that must be a very special honor for those of you who are the first to graduate. I want to thank you all for coming. I know how excited you all must be, and I do want to congratulate all of you and all of your accomplishments. I've had the pleasure of being the pharmacy technician instructor for almost 6 years. I have also been fortunate enough to be involved with MAs, medical building coding, and criminal justice, whether it be going over math problems, general pharmacy questions, or just to simply touch base over break or say hello. I have had many run-ins with many of you. Some of you are in the pharmacy tech program are also my co-workers, which when sometimes they call my store, it is always puts a big smile on my face when I know that it's one of mine. And it's also a very proud moment for me. I've had also times where I've, like Miss Nancy said, where you run into them at places of employment, and that could be one of the proudest moments an instructor could ever have. And I want to tell you again how extremely proud of you I am of all of you. My journey with Remington College started over 9 years ago as a student. Towards the end, with the help of an instructor as well, I was given a job at Walgreens as a pharmacy technician. 3 years into that, I was given the opportunity to teach at Remington College. I was asked to teach at Remington College, and I can say it was a very exciting experience for me. And I thought to myself, it's been so long since I've been in school, I don't even know if I could really do it. But through hard work and determination, I was very determined to teach what I was taught. It was hard a lot of times, and there were even times where I wondered, what did I even get myself into? What was I even thinking? Now that I work 40 hours working one job, I think back and I'm wondering, what was I thinking working 60? I sometimes thought when I had difficult students, this is definitely going to be my last year here. I once got advice from my mom, and she told me something that I not only used when I was teaching, I also used it when I worked in the pharmacy. And she would say, don't quit over people that don't want help. Still try to help them, but remember that for every one student that doesn't want help, there are another 10 students that really need you. And I use that same advice for everything that I do, even in the pharmacy environment. Looking at all of you today in your gowns and meeting all of your families and getting to know you guys through all the years, I can definitely tell you that all of those long hours were extremely and very so much worth it. Going to school and staying in school after so many years was hard, and I know a lot of your motivating factors, but for the ones that I don't know, hold on to that and keep going in whatever you want to pursue. I will end today with a story that actually has been my driving force to succeed in life. Like I mentioned before, I have a total of over 50 cousins and lots of family members, and I want to say that I'm one of a handful that has done anything I feel with their lives. And the driving force that I have is my son Mark Anthony, who's outside handing out flyers. He was 5 years old when I was sitting right where you guys are at. And when the graduation was over, he looked at me really confused and he said, "What is going on here?" He goes, "Why are you wearing that? And why are you going up there? And is everyone clapping?" And so after everything was over, he says, "So what was all of this called?" And I said, "It is a graduation." So after he still kind of looks and ponders and thinks, he says, "So then we have a party, and you get to wear that and you have a party?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "Oh, okay." Then afterwards he says, "Well, I want one, a big one." And then I said, "I'm sorry, what do you want? What is it that you want?" "Well, I want a graduation, and I want a party, a big one, a big graduation and a big party." I knew at that point that a seed was planted. And I knew that even though he didn't know what a graduation was, he knew that something was going to lead to a big party. Ever since then, education was something that me and my husband always talk about, and it's a very important aspect of our lives. And we knew at that point that we had to set an example for him. I hope that I do get to graduate from pharmacy school before my son graduates college. And I really want to thank Remington College for the role that you played into that. Before Remington College, I was a telemarketer. And I didn't know anything about the medical field. I don't think I knew a 1/1,000,000th of the drugs that I know now, or any of the laws, or anything that was involved with that. And Remington College not only gave me something to look forward to, but also the constant push to want to do more. I know that even if it takes me 10 years, I will become a pharmacist, and I hope that all of you find success in everything that you do. I wish you all the best in your future, and I want nothing but success for all of my students and all of the students. It was a pleasure being your instructor. It was a pleasure being your coworker. I love all of you, and after this, celebrate. I love you all.
Okay, as you can tell, it's a very emotional day for all of us here. Our next speaker represents medical billing and coding, Ms. Karen Cardozo. Karen represents many of the students that have attended our college in that she chose to go to college later in life. Not only did she pursue her education, but she went on to have a professional life that gave her the idea that maybe I'm going to come back and teach all those things I've learned along the way to students. And so what she gained in knowledge and professional experience, she brought back to us with her personal story. And it gives me much honor and emotion, as you can tell, to tell you that Karen is here because she chose to make a difference in your lives and give you the chance at an opportunity that she herself was able to have. Ms. Karen Cardozo.
I know she told me, but I'm Karen. want to let my students know that I became an instructor. I'm not even reading this. But no, I became an instructor because I wanted to get into this field, and I wanted so bad to have that graduation on the end of my resume from the college. Like for most of you who are the first to graduate in your family, it was the same way for me. And it was also just for me. You know, I appreciate all the family and friends that are out there, but it was mainly for me. I got to accomplish something. So for those days when all of you were like, I got to work, Karen. I had laundry. You had all the excuses of why you couldn't come to class or get your assignment done. This is why. It's a short time of pain and sacrifice, but it lasts a lifetime of achievement. Nobody can take that from you after today. So be proud of yourselves. And another reason is when I got into building and coding, I felt like a lot of people didn't understand what they were doing. What I did, there's got to be an easier way to explain this and tell students they can graduate. They can understand what other people have been doing on the job, but they're also going to have that diploma telling them, yeah, they really do understand this. And it's huge for me to tell you that, you know, if you get out there and you start doing well at it, you too can come back and teach other students, hey, I got this knowledge, I'm going to show it to you, and you guys are going to have that on your resume, and you're going to be out there like this, no matter what, saying, look what I did. Family, thank you for supporting me, but look what I did. Kicking and screaming, some of you, some of you, I just about to put you in a headlock. Settle down, but you came back, you stuck it out, you stuck it in there, and look where you're at today. Nobody can take that from you but you. And even if you try to, you can't. You already did it, so it's already done. So stand up, give yourselves a hand. Look what I stuck out, and look what I lasted. This is what I get to do. So stand up, all of you. Go and go. You got it, you made it. You made it. Seriously, I'm glad Remington hired me to come on and show you guys it can be done. Anybody can do it, and you did it. You proved it today. So other than what I wrote down, that's what I want to tell you, and family, be proud of them. They didn't quit, and there was a few of them that were going to. I told them I got your address upstairs. I'll go get you. But you did it. Congratulations.
All right, thank you, Karen. You're welcome. Well, definitely last but not least of our speakers is a representation from our criminal justice program. We are fortunate tonight to have Tom Peterson here as our speaker. He brings a wealth of life experience to his students. He had a lengthy career in police officer law enforcement. He's an expert in the field of weapons. Many that he shared with his classes. And most of all, he personally provided our students with a fine example of someone who has led and still leads today a dedicated career in the field of criminal justice. Our final guest speaker today, Mr. Tom Peterson.
Wasn't this a wonderful day of celebration for our graduates and our families? It was just tremendous. That's what graduation is all about. I think all of the criminal justice students know that when I retired as the Deputy Chief of Police at UCCS, University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, and came here, that I'd had like a 31-year career in law enforcement. But I don't know if you guys knew that I actually taught classes at UCCS. And one of the last classes I taught was a 400-level class. It was the last class that any of the criminal justice students at UCCS took. And there was big auditorium, 50 students. I didn't hardly get to know any of my students very well because there was so many of them, only the ones that stood out for one reason or another. Either they were very good or very terrible. And but we got them through it. At any rate, at the very last day of class, one of my students came up to me and he said, Mr. Peterson, I just want to let you know that of all of the instructors I've had here at UCCS, you're the only instructor I've ever had that did anything in the field of criminal justice. You don't see that in Remington. Every instructor you have here have all had practical experience in the field, and that's a wonderful thing. I want to give you 3 short comments that I have for people particularly getting into law enforcement and corrections. And I give you 3 words of advice. Number 1, it's real important to people in this field that you show up. You got to realize that bosses and deputy chiefs like I was, we have sectors to cover and shifts to cover. And if you're the kind of person that shows up all the time and you show up on time, you are special to us. We love you and you stand out. You're the kind of people we want to take care of and we want to promote. Okay? The other one, the next point is to stand up. And this comes from an experience I had with a young officer. He was still in his FTO program, brand new police officer, first 6 months on the job, and he came up to me and said, DC, this job is complex. There's just so much going on. I don't know how to make all these decisions. And I said, it's easy. Just do what's right. So I want to pass that on to you. It's not that complex. Get out there on your job, do what's right. And finally, I want to relay this thing of saddle up. You've put a lot of time and education in it. Don't get discouraged now. Some of you know I was a parole officer for many years in the state of Colorado. From the time I put my application in with parole to the time I got hired, it was over 6 months. These kinds of jobs, corrections and law enforcement jobs, it's a long, lengthy process of background checks and interviews, and don't get discouraged. And if it doesn't work out the first time, put another application in. Don't get discouraged. It's the kind of business you're getting into. And I want to give you one little word. How many people in this whole building, don't shout it out, just raise your hand, can tell me the date of D-Day? Could you tell me the date of D-Day? Okay, we've got quite a few people in here that could give me the date of D-Day if they want it. And that is 6/6/44, right? June the 6th of 1944. But how many people in here could give me the date of VE Day, the Victory in Europe Day? One person, okay? The reason for that is, by the way, it was May the 8th of 1945, 11 months later, okay? But the reason is that after a successful D-Day, we knew the battle was won. It was inevitable. Yeah, we had a lot of challenges, we had a lot of fighting, we had a lot of battles to complete, but we won, okay? And that's the same way with you guys. You just got your graduation completed. You now have the knowledge that you need. As far as I'm concerned, it's your D-Day, you won. Now just put in the time, put in the effort, put in those applications, and you're going to have your Victory in Europe Day. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, each of you. You're the most inspiring guest speakers that I've heard from in quite a long time, and we've had some great ones here. And I think it's because you come from the heart of Remington College and you really stand for what we've always tried to develop here and show our students the dedication and the caring that we have for not only our students, Remington itself, and the experiences that we bring to the table. So I think one of the things that you've heard here tonight before is that education is continuum, and it's a learning process that each of you will continue to have in any of the fields represented here tonight. So please embrace it. Don't stand still. Grow with it. You've done a lot of growing in the last couple of years with your time at Remington. Please take that and go with it throughout the rest of your life. Well, the time is about to come that you've been waiting for. It's time to distribute the diplomas. We're going to go by program alphabetically. So as I call out each of your programs, please rise. A faculty member from your program will be here to present you with your diploma and a pin that represents your program. First of all, we'd like to start with criminal justice. Please stand. The following candidates have met met all the requirements for the Associate of Applied Science degree in criminal justice. Randall Bishop. Please come forward. Jonathan Cosby. Michael Crete. Woody Garner. Kayla Gleisner. Damian Hummel. Thomas Inthopatha. Isaiah Jones. Robert Kidwell. Brent Maxim. Rael Masters. Catherine Medlin. Brian Prime. Jessica Sackett. Serena Smith. Larissa Sykes. Kaoru Wadsworth. Please join me in offering our congratulations to all our criminal justice graduates. Ms. Trujillo will now present the diploma program graduates with their diplomas. The following candidates have met all the requirements for the diploma in pharmacy technician. Please rise and approach the stage. Anna Blackmore. Samantha Branch. Samantha Davis. Brianne DeGrave. Melissa Graven. Holly McBride. Amber Minen. Angela Olku. Ashley Van Tassel. Jennifer Wenrich. Please join me in giving them our congratulations. The following candidates have met all requirements for a diploma in medical billing and coding. Please rise and approach the stage. Demetric Cooper. Amanda Cuthsworth. Tamara Gaynor. Gabrielle Hale. Tanya Jonathan. Seth Lapioli. Carrie Meisenhelter. Nancy Moore. Kidwin Qualley. Yvette Rogers. Kirsten Sandquist. Juanita Treadway. Libby Zuber. Please join me in giving them our congratulations. The following candidates have met all the requirements for the diploma in medical assisting. Please rise and approach the stage. Tiffany Bishop. Carol Fajardo Basante. Antonio Gallardo. Matthew Haas. Jennifer Jocelyn. Lindsay Keat. Catalina Kilgore. Deborah Linton. Ashley Nelson. Brittany Smith. Betsy Smith. Jessica Sullivan. Pablo Villarreal. And once again, our congratulations to all our graduates tonight. And now it's my privilege to present Dr. Hiram Knoll, who will make the official pronouncement.
Thank you, Carol. Diplomas and degrees will now be conferred. Candidates, please stand. With the approval of the faculty and upon certification of your Director of Education that you have fulfilled the requirements for graduation, and by the authority vested in me by the Remington College Board of Directors and the Accrediting Commission of Independent Colleges and Schools, I am pleased to confer your diploma or degree. I declare that you are now entitled to all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Please signify your transition from candidate to graduate by moving your tassel from right side to left. You are now Remington College graduates. Congratulations. You enjoyed the good days, and you survived the days you would call anything but good. You even survived lots of challenges, like not always having dependable daycare, or transportation, or enough money. Do we ever have enough money? Or enough time to study, or enough time with your kids, or not having the most important people in your life believe you could do it when you really needed their support the most. And now, this very last ceremony. We're glad you did, because you're here with us tonight, and we wish you the absolute best that the future has to offer. What you experience can be called growing pains, because all of it made you stronger, wiser, and better prepared to meet the challenges of the future. My final words to you are these. Your happiness will depend on your commitment to certain guiding principles. The most important one is to always work with dignity, integrity, to be honest, trustworthy, and committed to the exchange of value for value. Always treat other people as you would like to be treated. Always, always aspire to contribute the most and not to receive the most. When you find yourself in a leadership position, and I pray you will, always, always focus on service, never on power. Please stand and repeat after me. I will remain faithful to my dream.
I will remain faithful to my dream.
I will always be an achiever.
I will always be an achiever.
I will always believe in me.
I will always believe in me.
Success is mine if I work hard to achieve it.
Success is mine if I work hard to achieve it.
Thank you. Please remain standing, and let's give your fantastic teachers another huge round of applause. That concludes our ceremony. Thanks again for coming out tonight. Good night to everyone. Be safe in your travels back home. And if we can have our guests remain seated until the platform party and the graduates exit the auditorium. Thanks again. Good night.